What's up everyone and welcome back. Path of Exile's Incursion League is live. I hope you are all enjoying the league and wanting to get back to it, so we will just jump right in. I have respect into swords, and this is us just standing around in our hideout. Looks pretty darn good to me. It's not as impressive as that 94 with claws, but hey, whatever. This is with all of our buffs and all of our golems and all of these little guys right here. Oh, you think those things are giving you a headache? You should try doing an entire build with them. I just want to kill them. Kill them! Alright, I mentioned in the last video that I thought maybe life leech support would work out a little bit better here. It's useless. I mean, without being an invested minion build, they don't really do enough damage to leech the life anyways, and they were dying all over the place. They were dying more than when I was using just minion life support. The build was never really meant to have minions as strong damage dealing companions. They're only there for you to gain the buffs from them. However, that kind of becomes a problem when they start dying and then you lose those effects in the middle of a fight. So anyone who would like to know a lot more detail about this build, I really encourage you to go check out my Wild Strike Elementalist build guide where I go over all of that stuff. And I'll put a link for that video in the description for you. Anyone who has already seen that video has probably also already noticed that I'm using swords now. And that's only because I just happen to have 3 scavayas, whatever yas laying around in my stash, so I could just throw them on, throw a build together, and this time we'll do a much quicker video just showing a couple of changes you could do to that previous Wild Strike Elementalist to make her worthy of that Incursion Temple. So why not claws then? I mean, they do more damage, yes, but then I go whirly blading into walls and crap and where the ledges are and stuff in the Incursion Temples, and nobody wants that. And like I said, I just happen to have a couple of scavayas of whatever laying around in my stash, so we throw those on and now I can use Leap Slam, which I really personally like, and now I hardly run anywhere. A couple of steps here and there maybe, but then you're just leaping everywhere else. So we'll show that there. So I had to change one of the colors around on my headpiece here. I had to get one more red socket. No big deal if you got the Vorisi recipe. And now we have 2 red, 2 green, so we can have Leap Slam with Fortify still, and faster attacks. I always want to have faster attacks with Leap Slam. It feels horrible without it. And I can keep Frenzy, so you can, if you go into a room fresh with no charges, or you run out at a boss or something, you can still build up your frenzy charges again. Alright, other than that, the only thing that has changed, really, I threw the swords on, but because this build was already built and based around something else, I already had the colors for the sockets already picked out from my skills. I really did not have the chance to be able to choose the colors of the sockets I really wanted to get the maximum effect from the sword and then put gems into that. I had to do it the other way. I had to make the colors around the gems I already had. However, alright, some of you may have noticed Veil Lightning Trap is not in here anymore, and honestly that is just a personal preference of mine. You don't have to take it out, so you do not have to lose that increased damage. That being the case, as you can see here, Herald of Ice is now down in my ring slot instead of Herald of Ash, which is up here in the sword. Again, that's just my own personal preference for how I threw this together real quick for you guys, and so we could move on. And I did that because when I lost my claws, I lost my ability to sustain my frenzy charges unless I want to put Ice Bite in right here where added cold damage is, and then lose a ton of damage. It took a lot off, and I did not want to lose that damage. So in order to sustain my frenzy charges, I personally decided to take Veil Lightning Trap out for now and throw in Blasphemy Support and Poacher's Mark, which will not only grant frenzy charges when you kill enemies, but cursed enemies will grant you life and mana, not when they're killed, but when they're hit, which will really help out when you're only running around with 70 mana. However, if you really, really want Veil Lightning Trap back in your build so you can shock bosses and gain that increased damage, all you really have to do is just find a way to work it in. For example, I could even work it back into my build if I decided to just take Rallying Cry out of my chest piece, which I really probably should just do. I could then move Herald of Ash here out of my main hand and put it into the chest piece. Then recolor the sockets on my main hand to blue, blue, green. That way, you now have an open blue slot to put in Veil Lightning Trap. It will not have increased duration, however, you should be doing enough damage to get through there, I would hope, or at least 3 charges. You know, if you can't do it in 3 charges, then you're probably dead anyways. Okay, real quick, the skill tree. 15 points out, so 15 refund points you'll need, and then you're good to go. Take the 9 out of your claw node, the big claw nodes here, and take the 4 out of the 1 dexterity and the 3 claw node clusters here. And that's 13. Now, a little bit of personal preference again. You need to find 2 points to work into the build because we're only level 89. If you're higher level, you won't have to worry about that. That would be really nice to be 90 right now, but whatever. So I took out Path of the Warrior and 1 life node. And again, that's just personal preference. I took out life instead of a little bit of damage somewhere else. That gives you 15 total points. You put in 9 here into the sword nodes. And then we got to spend 2 points to get down there no matter which way we go. So we'll pick up a little Frenzy Charge, Duration, and then down this way for the dual wielding nodes and all the way down for a ton of attack speed and damage. And that's it. That's all you need. Just 15 refund points on the tree, a couple of swords, recolor the sockets on 1 piece of gear if you need. I did 2, but personally I would recommend just leaving the boots alone, just leaving minion life support in there, because like I said, they're not very strong. They don't deal enough damage to leech life from it anyway, so now that you're ready for that Incursion Temple, good luck getting your challenges this league. I hope everyone has fun and that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Help support the channel, and hopefully I will catch you all again next time.